Alrighty, new month, new games. What can you look forward to playing this April? Let's go ahead and take a look. First up this month, we have got Road to Vostok. This is a hardcore single-player survival game set in a post-apocalyptic Finland. It's being developed by a small Finnish indie studio and has popped up on my radar a few times in the last 2 to 3 years, primarily due to them having gone through multiple preview phases, releasing 4 demos within that period. The buzz around this one has been fairly positive, although I've yet to try the game myself. I'm definitely interested from what I've seen and heard. The premise is that you're going to start out in this evacuated zone located in southeastern Finland. There you'll find shelters, traders, and basic loot to get you started. You are then tasked with pushing back hostile bandits encroaching on the region. After dealing with them and getting yourself fully equipped, you start making your adventure outward. This involves going into the border zone region, a map with numerous crossing points and challenges for you to overcome, which is also inhabited by dangerous armed guards. Surviving that, you'll finally make your way towards Vostok, a high-risk, high-reward zone that includes the most valuable loot in the game, but also where death means that you lose everything. Some additional core features here include they've got realistic FPS mechanics, physics-based loot, hostile AIs and factions, map-to-map travel, permadeath zones, shelter customization, trading and tasks. There's a day-night cycle, dynamic weather, including seasons, and a dynamic events which you'll encounter. Honestly, this sounds pretty neat and kind of gives me stalkery vibes. Looking forward to checking it out. Road to Vostok enters Steam Early Access on April 7th. Lay of the Land is a voxel-based sandbox adventure RPG set in a fantasy world, and looking at it, the first thing that pops into my head is Minecraft. Yes, of course, this looks to be another Minecraft-inspired game that leans a little more heavily into the adventure and RPG elements, which, hey, all right, let's see how they do. It's not a bad idea. Some of the key listed features include you've got distinct biomes filled with unique points of interest, wildlife, and enemies. You'll be exploring overgrown ruins, deadly temples, winding caverns, and jagged mountains. The procedural world generation here uses layered simulations to create interesting and natural landscapes. Water will carve channels through valleys, while roads wind their way around the terrain, organically connecting together. It's got an action-based combat which centers around the traditional fantasy class roles. You can use a wide variety of weapons. You got swords, shields, axes, bows, daggers, staffs, wands, etc. There's going to be gear to collect that comes with its own unique effects as well. And the world is fully destructible with the voxel elements to it. You can collapse the roof of a cave, chop a tree to crush a monster, or blast through a wall to get the drop on some enemies. And of course, as you might expect, you're going to be able to build your own base voxel by voxel, along with there being an in-depth item, gear, and weapon crafting system in the game. I gotta say, I like how it looks, although trying to out Minecraft is certainly a tall order, but always happy to see more attempts and new twist for sure. Competition is a good thing, and I hope it does well. Lay of the Land launches on April 8th, will be coming to PC via Steam. Last Flag. This is a fast-paced 5 vs 5 third-person shooter where you engage in a game of capture the flag, but with a few twists. It's presented as a game show, kind of along the lines of what they did with the finals, but maybe a bit more over the top and zany with this one. At the start of every round, both teams will have 60 seconds to hide their flag, and then once the timer is up, of course your goal is to hunt down the enemy flag while defending and attempting to keep yours hidden. The first team to capture the flag and return it to their base wins after surviving a 60-second gauntlet period of mayhem while the enemy team is attempting to get their flag back from you in this 60-second window. You'll be dodging tornadoes, bazooka blast, and a hailstorm of serrated feathers, amongst other things. Again, they're kind of going with a wild, zany game show tilts to this game. You're gonna be able to play as one of multiple characters. Everyone comes with their own distinct playstyles and unique abilities. There will, of course, be multiple roles to fill. If you want to be a straight up fragger doing PvP, if you want to be a flag runner, if you want to play support or as a defender, lots of options available. There's also in-match progression where you're gonna earn cash on various upgrades. They've got multiple maps planned for release, from a ghost town nestled in a forest canyon to a cozy mountain village blanketed in snow and ancient temples infused with dark magic. Now, as we've learned over the years, it's a pretty tough market, competitive multiplayer games, but always hoping for the best, of course. That's me, you know me. And the game looks neat, so I wouldn't mind giving it a go. It's just, man, it's cutthroat out there. The multiplayer focused games, it seems like if you don't pop off, you're just studio shutting down in a couple of years. I'm not forecasting this or anything. I'm just saying it's really tough for these kind of competitive games, but you never know. Maybe they developed this on a smaller budget and they can survive with a smaller player base if that's what ends up happening. We'll find out. Last Flag will be launching on April 14th for PC, with a planned console release coming later this year. We got a brand new IP coming from Capcom this month. Pragmata is the science fiction action adventure game set in the near future where you play as a dual protagonist, Hugh, and his android companion Diana, working together to make your way through this lunar research station teeming with threats. I actually really like how this looks, although I've not seen much wider interest online. It just doesn't seem to have like a ton of hype around the game. There's definitely something about this though, the game's world and its presentation, that I find appealing. I expect it to be kind of strange, but hopefully in a good way. This is a single player game. You'll be exploring this lunar base, encountering a variety of dangerous foes, enemy bots protected with this reinforced armor, which you fight back using the combination of both characters' skills. So Diana hacks enemy systems to expose their weaknesses, while Hugh takes aim with a wide arsenal of firearms. Hacking actually involves engaging in a mid-combat mini-game. It's kind of like a matching puzzle from what I could tell. Doing this successfully then opens up the weak points on the target, which Hugh can then attack using one of his 4 weapon types, each strong against certain types of enemies and armors. The gameplay I've seen looks pretty interesting, with that little twist on traditional third-person shooter formula. I mean, you're literally engaging in a middle game in the middle of fights, which I get funny. It's interesting. Now, beyond the combat aspect of it, you'll be working together in exploration and puzzle solving. Hugh's suit comes with things like thrusters that can be used to cross gaps and get up to unreachable areas, while Diana can hack security systems, unlocking doors and clearing otherwise blocked off paths. They've also talked about how you will be regularly returning back to the shelter that's like a home base of operations that you go to before exploring and venturing out further in the facility. Here you can upgrade your weapons, heal yourself, and otherwise just prepare for the upcoming battles. Pretty cool looking game. Definitely interested to see what Capcom does next. Pragmata will be launching on April 17th, coming to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Peter Molyneux is back with some more crazy ideas. You know, this guy gets a lot of crap, overselling his games and all, but honestly, I kind of appreciate that he makes these funky, non-orthodox, sometimes rather interesting games. And it looks like his latest title, Masters of Albion, is another attempt at doing just that. They're calling this a bold reimagining of the God game genre, where there's no single solution to any answer. You'll be mixing strategy with simulation, town management, and tower defense in a game that also takes you into the rich narrative world of Albion. You start out in this underdeveloped village of Oak Ridge, playing as a god, controlling the town and its citizens, building a small business, and completing orders for various customers. Then from there, you expand and grow your empire. The game even lets you enter the bodies of NPCs to explore the world through their eyes as they tackle challenges in quest, battle with bandits, search for secrets and treasures, and roam across the world. During the daytime, things are relatively chill. You can explore, build, paint, decorate, design, and more. However, then when nighttime comes, the town is under attack from a variety of monsters and beasts, which you have to fight back via the game's tower defense system and individually controlling NPCs in combat. Once more, another interesting looking game from Molyneux. We'll see how it turns out. Masters of Albion launches on April 22nd, coming first to PC with a console release planned for later in the year. All right, now we got a couple of big updates and expansions I want to let you know about. First up, Starfield gets its Free Lanes update this month, which comes with some fairly large changes and improvements to many aspects of the game. This includes, we've got the Free Lanes and Cruise modes. Now you're able to freely fly between planets within a star system, taking off and going in any direction, a la No Man's Sky. In the process, you'll encounter various space points of interest and events that can take place along the way. X-Tech is a new resource that lets you customize all of your weapons and gear, even your ships a bit further. Outpost got an update with a shared resource and item containers, a new database system to easily find things, and an outpost pet, and a bunch more new stuff, including new star stations, ship modules, vehicles, upgrade slots, planetary points of interest, elite crew, side quest, enemy modifiers, and more. Free Lanes is a free update for anybody who already owns the game. Along with this update, Starfield is launching on the PlayStation 5 finally, both of which will be happening on April 7th. The Ancient Civilization survival sandbox game Soulmask enters 1.0 this month with its big Egyptian-themed Shifting Sands update. You'll be able to build large airships, these floating homes that work as transportation but also have base management and combat elements. There's 4 new masks being added to the game infused with various Egyptian gods. This is said to be a massive DLC, much bigger than the base game was, which was already pretty big, but it's a free update. I want to make that clear in their efforts to keep growing and improving the game. Also, it's 1.0 patch essentially, so we would expect it to be free, of course. Yeah, Soulmask I've heard a lot of great things about. It's highly recommended to me as a fan of survival games, so I'm looking forward to jumping in. I've played it a little bit in the past, but I'm gonna try to give it a real solid go this time around. The Soulmask 1.0 update is coming out on April the 10th. Diablo 4's next major expansion, Lord of Hatred, comes with a bunch of new stuff and comes out later this month. We got a new campaign that continues the fight against Mephisto, in which we'll be exploring the ancient region of Skovos. There are 2 new classes coming with this, the Paladin, which is already playable, as well as the Warlock, and a ton of new features, activities, and major updates with an overhaul to the endgame system in a variety of facets. You know, I haven't much looked into this update as of yet, but I am 100% playing it. I've not touched Diablo 4 since its last expansion. I just haven't revisited it for any of the seasons. But as with many ARPGs, I do enjoy checking back in with them time and time again just to see what's changed, what's new, all of that. And I'm hoping this is a good expansion. Diablo 4 Lords of Hatred, this is going to be coming out on April 28th. All right, then finally, we got a couple of playtests I want to let you know about. So first up, the highly anticipated third-person action RPG, Expanse Osiris Reborn, has a beta test later this month that's going to give you a chance to check out the game early. The test includes a full mission from the beginning of the game where you're going to visit the Pinkwater 4 station, meet some of its many residents, expand your crew, and confront powerful enemies as you earn yourself the title of captain. The beta will begin on April 22nd. You can register for a chance to be invited over on the official website. And lastly, the upcoming MMORPG Scars of Honor has a playtest this month. I've definitely been keeping a hopeful eye on this game. I would love to be pleasantly surprised by a new MMO. Not holding my breath, but a boy can dream. I just want more good MMOs. So Scars of Honor. The playtest is going to be running from April 30th to May 11th. It's going to include an early look at combat and leveling, questing and open world exploration, the talents and scar system, gathering and crafting the game's procedural dungeons, as well as PvP battlegrounds and arenas. If you'd like to be invited, it's really simple. You just go to the game's Steam page and request access directly there, right under like the main where they showcase all of the screenshots and videos. Right there, request access, and you might get invited. I really want this game to be good. As a fan of MMOs, we are starved for options for new games to check out, so really hopeful for Scars of Honor. Definitely jumping in. In fact, speaking of which, that does it for this month's list. In terms of what I'm expected and planning to do this month, turns out I'm actually going to be pretty busy, busier than I expected. I want to check out Road to Vostok. Last Flag, I at least want to give a couple of afternoons to see if it's any good. Pragmata, definitely into. Would like to check out the Starfield update, as well as the 1.0 of Soulmask, the Diablo 4 expansion, and then the previews, the beta test and play test for the Expanse, as well as Scars of Honor. That's a lot of games to pack into 4 weeks, so we'll see hopefully I have time for all of them. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you as always for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, let me know if there's any games that I missed that you're interested in that are coming out this month or have playtest available. Let me know below. Always happy to have more to add to my schedule. Thanks so much. Hope you guys enjoyed the vid. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.